Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to have a look at some reveals from Paldean Fates, some pretty important reveals from Paldean Fates, and I'm just going to say I'm not happy about this. No, I'm happy about the reveals. I think these are cool reveals. I think these are ones we absolutely need to talk about. These are things that I don't think we can wait till after the weekend. I want to talk about them now. I'm annoyed because they dropped them on a Friday evening, UK time. And it's like, mate, I'm done for the week. I've finished my week. I've done all my videos for the weekend. I'm ready to go. I don't want to do any more work. But you know what? These are big reveals, including the confirmation that Moonlit Hill is coming, which means I have to go and edit a video or two that I've already made where I discuss the possibility of Moonlit Hill, but tell you it's not confirmed. Because it is now confirmed. And make no mistake about it, this is a big reveal, and this is one that we've been waiting to see. Now, this was a promo over in Japan, and it was a promo they got a little while ago, which we've been basically waiting for, and it's now coming, and this is awesome. It is a stadium that says once during each player's turn, that player may discard a basic psychic energy from their hand in order to heal 30 damage from each of their Pokemon. And it actually fits beautifully into Gardevoir decks. I know. It is actually like legit brilliant in Gardevoir decks, because obviously Gardevoir's got that brilliant ability that lets you attach as much psychic energy from your discard as you like to your psychic Pokemon, and you got to put 2 damage counters on if you do so. Now, one of the things you need here is psychic energy in the discard pile to accelerate. This stadium will help you do that. Another thing is that you're going to be constantly putting damage on your Pokemon with this ability. And certainly doing it for something like Cresselia, where you're moving that damage over to your opponent, that's a good thing. You want the damage on. And similarly, we've got Screamtail that does damage depending on how much damage is on it. So for that Pokemon, you absolutely do want the damage on. But for a lot of other Pokemon, what would be brilliant is if we could be healing it off. And healing it off pretty regularly so that you don't have that damage sitting on there. Because, of course, one of the downsides of Gardevoir is you're constantly leaving damage on your Pokemon so that they are more easily KO'd by your opponent. That's not a good thing. This comes in and fixes that quite nicely. This is actually a really good stadium, and it's really specific. But we have a deck that fits it. There are a bunch of metas we've had in the past where we look at this and go, well, if you really want psychic energy in the discard specifically and you need to heal all your Pokemon, this would be great, but we don't have that deck, so what's the point? Whereas here we can look at it and go, oh, you know, literally Gardevoir. Like, we literally have Gardevoir, and that means it fits in really nicely. And that's essentially your answer here. If it wasn't for Gardevoir and having a really specific deck where this fits perfectly, we wouldn't really care. But we do have Gardevoir, so we absolutely do care. But of course, then we need to go, well, hang on a second. If Moonlit Hill is coming and that was in a promo pack in Japan, what else was in that promo pack? And might we be getting that as well? And the answer is Scovillain EX. That's like the headliner here. Now, again, I can't say for absolute certain, but whereas in the past couple of weeks I've been saying, well, it's a random promo pack from Japan, it's likely to be in Paldean Fates, but we don't know one way or the other. Now that we've literally had one of the cards from the pack actually properly confirmed and revealed, at this stage, I would be absolutely beyond stunned if we didn't get Scovillain EX. Now, again, I can't say for absolute certain, but there was a question of, well, are they going to bring this promo pack in or not? Well, now that they've brought in one of the cards from the promo pack, it doesn't 100% confirm that the entire new stuff from the promo pack is coming in, but come on, it basically does. So with Scovillain EX now all but confirmed, do we care? Like, brilliant, it's coming. Do we care? Is this a card we're excited about? Or is it one where we look at it and we're like, nah, it's all right, mate. We don't really need it. And the answer is, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Did the translations for this myself. And what we've got is single colourless energy on a stage 1. The defending Pokemon is now burned and cannot retreat during your opponent's next turn. Obviously, this would be better on a basic. Burn's not amazing, but burn plus can't retreat could add up quite nicely. We've then got 2 grass energy, 140, and you discard a random card from your opponent's hand, and you discard a card from the top of their deck. And I will say, if we get late in the game here, and you play something like an Iono to put them down to a 1-card hand, and then start using this attack every turn, this is kind of awesome. Because every turn they draw 1 card and then you trash it from their hand if they don't play it or discard it from their hand, which means they can never build up like a 2-card combo or anything like that. But you're also discarding cards on the top of their deck, so they're going to mill out a little bit faster. It's not some phenomenal card that's making huge waves in Japan. I'm not going to pretend it is. But it absolutely is a card which has a little bit of potential and could end up being kind of fun. There were, for what it's worth, 2 other unique cards, and I have double-checked they are unique, that came in this promo pack. We've got a Cleffa that for 0 energy searches for 2 basic and puts them in your hand. But you're basically, it's got 30 HP, right? You're giving up a prize to search for 2 basic energy, maybe in some games, but I can't imagine this really seeing any play. And then we've got a Rev of Room that for 1 metal energy lets you flip a coin to discard an energy from your opponent's active, but it's a stage 1 and doesn't do any damage. And then we've got 3 colourless energy, 70 damage. If you've got more cards in hand than your opponent, you do 150. Obvious combo here with Iono if you're behind, but reality is 3 colourless energy, 150 on a stage 1 isn't actually that great anyway. Metal weakness isn't phenomenal. It's fine, you'll get a couple, but this isn't particularly great. Hey, you know how I said Moonlight Stadium or Moonlit Stadium is really good with Gardevoir? They revealed Shiny Gardevoir! How nice is that? So we have got Shiny Gardevoir confirmed. This is actually, if you look at the price of Shiny Treasure EX over in Japan, which is of course the Japanese equivalent set, this is one of the most expensive Shiny EXs in that set. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is one of those ones that we did know basically was like a 99.9% chance of being in the set, but it's still pretty cool that it's coming, and it's Shiny Gardevoir. It's going to be one of the most sought after in the set. Now, weirdly, they went and revealed Mew, which is weird because they already did that. Like, they literally already had an article where they showed us Mew, and then in the article today, they showed us Mew, which is lovely. It's a phenomenal card. It's got the Uzgamen artwork. I've told you many times, you know, I follow that person on Twitter, and they're a brilliant follow. They do phenomenal Pokemon artwork. And you know, if you're going to reveal a card twice, this is probably the best one to reveal. It's phenomenal. But they literally already did this. So I think we can move on. There was another Shiny EX that was revealed. It is Clodsire, or Paldean Clodsire. And I've got a soft spot for Paldean Clodsire. Second best Gen 9 Pokemon after Fuecoco. It's an interesting card that if there's a stadium in play, you can poison your opponent's active, which is nice. And also flip a coin. If tails, you can attack, but it doesn't matter. Free energy 200 is pretty nice, especially when you build in poison. And then, of course, you've got stuff like Hisuian Sneasler, or Radiant Hisuian Sneasler, which can add on 20 to that poison damage. We've got Dark Patch in the format at the moment, so you can accelerate energy to it. This is always a card I was way higher on than most people. And then I got to reveal the full art of it, which probably helped me to be high on it. And, yeah, has not proven to be particularly good, I think is probably a fair way to phrase this. Also worth pointing out, I didn't show you for Gardevoir, so let me show you here. As I've mentioned, these shiny Pokemon in this set, they have literally taken the full arts and pressed the Make It Shiny button, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I know for some people that is making them less desirable in terms of collectability. I'm going to leave that one up to you. I'm just going to point it out, because I was thinking about, hey, I revealed the full art. Well, great news. This is the full art, but they pressed the Make It Shiny button. I do like Paldean Clodsire. I wish it had gotten a special illustration rare. What we are also getting in the set is Technical Machine Crisis Punch. Now, this was a brand new card in Shiny Treasures EX, so this is one that we really did think was definitely going to be in the set, but it has now been confirmed, and this card is very good. Now, it's a TM, so it gives you an extra attack, but it falls off at the end of your turn. But for 3 colorless energy, you do 280 if your opponent has 1 prize card remaining, and only if they've got 1 prize card remaining. If they've got more, this doesn't work. However, we don't need a ruling. We've seen previous rulings. There are cards around that will lower the cost of this. The big one, well, there's 2 big ones. One of them is Radiant Charizard. Radiant Charizard's attacks are reduced by 1 colorless energy for each prize card your opponent has taken. We don't need a ruling. We've seen similar rulings. We know the deal. Yes, this will work with this TM. So if your opponent's got 1 prize card remaining, they've taken 5 prize cards. So Radiant Charizard can use this to do 280 for 0 energy. That is absurd. Absolutely absurd. You could also look, for instance, at Cramorant from Lost Origin, the one that has 3 attacks. If you've got 4 cards in the Lost Zone, Cramorant would also be a pretty good candidate for using this one here. So it's a decent card in and of itself, but because we've got Pokemon around that can lower the attack cost to nothing, it becomes a way more interesting card. And of course, 280 is a magic number for KOing Pokemon V-Star, and you'll get Pokemon V Basic EXs, Stage 1 EXs. It's really very good. Right, there we go. That's what you need to know. Those are the reveals. Moonlit Hill is a big one. We've been waiting for that. But now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me which of these cards you're excited about. Tell me what your hype level is for Paldean Fates. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely William Shaw, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.